Hi, I'm Alyson the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 138 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast hosted by me, Alyson, and my mom, Vivian. I'm recording from Scotland.
And I'm recording from Michigan. Hello, everybody. Oh, the sun's right here in my hand.
Yeah, I can see that. And I'm in a different room. You're getting more insight into the life of Alyson. This is my living room.
Oh, you only painted one bookshelf.
Oh yeah. Behind me, there's two bookshelves that are built into the walls. These are called this is my little history architecture lesson. Edinburgh presses. Where they're very distinct to these tenement style flats that were built in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. I think you must get them like in Glasgow as well, because there's lots of tenements in Glasgow. But the reason why we get these built-in bookshelves with like the kind of looks like a doorway with the trim around it was that when they were building the flats, they were doorways. So basically they could get into all of different like apartments regardless of which stairwell they belonged to. So they could like do all the works and construction and whatever to it, and then they were sealed off and then turned into bookshelves. At least that's my understanding of them. But there's two here, and I originally painted them this terracotta color, but it actually kind of just looks like wood. So I was like, I don't want it to look like wood, so I've repainted them white with a dusky sage green background. So I've only done
I really like it now that the shells are white. It just pops out better. I really, really like it, and I like that green color. And then for our video subscribers, Alyson got a haircut. She looks really cute.
Well, for our audio subscribers who can't see me, but yeah, I chopped off my hair.
It's
so
like,
that's the other difference. Different room, different hairdo.
It's like not even chin length. It's like shorter than your chin or higher.
It's like jaw.
Yeah.
It's like right at my jaw. And I was saying to my mom before we started recording that my neck has never been this exposed before. This is definitely the shortest I've ever cut it. It's shorter than I had originally planned on. Like normally when I get it cut short, it's kind of shoulder length, maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like you guys used to always tell me I had a big head when I was growing up, and I feel like this just makes my head look big.
You know, we only tease you. Short. We only tease you because
I know. I can't do a ponytail. I can only do like a half up ponytail. And is it too weird to show my act? So I've been growing it out for like 2 years because I used to have long hair all the time, and it was only when I moved here that I started cutting it short. I remember the first time I got it cut short, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I just like went to a random hair salon that I'd never been to, and the hairdresser, she was like, are you sure? But this time, because I knew I wanted to donate it, she was just like, yep, we're chopping it off. So here it is. I've got like 15 inches of hair, so I need to send that. I literally just got it cut this morning.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and then I'm in the living room because I'm want to redo the office where I normally record from, paint the ceiling yellow, and as Sam pointed out, he's like, why are you starting a new project when you haven't even finished the shelves? So like halfway through that. And I was like, well, I did the shelves on a complete whim. I don't know, there was one weekend where I wasn't up to that much. So I was like, I'll just start the shelves. And I couldn't start my office because we had guests staying in the office. So there was a reason why I didn't do that then. But I really do want to get my office done. So,
but your answer to Sam is, that's how I roll. I start new projects.
Yeah, I was like, does it actually annoy you? He was like, no, it doesn't annoy me. It's just not how I would have done it. I'm like, yeah, well.
I'm not you.
I'm the one that's actually doing it, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So, let's get right into our whips. Yes? Yes. Go first. Yes, you.
Okay, so whips I've talked about is my Acre sweater by Judith brand. And this is the one, again, which I've basically rewritten because I'm using a completely different weight of yarn. This is the second panel. I really have only done maybe 4 or 5 rows since the last time I showed it. So there's really not that much to talk about. There it is. And that's it. And then another whip. It's something that I've talked about, but like possibly multiple years ago. What could it be? It is my Scrappy Blanket. So it's still going to be a whip for a long time probably, but I've actually started working on it again. So it's just granny stripe, but using scrap yarns as well as like mini skeins that I've bought. Sometimes like I'll go to a yarn show and not really have anything on my shopping list, but I feel like I have to buy something. So I buy mini skeins. But also buying the mini skeins is my opportunity to buy like colors that I wouldn't normally wear because I know it's just going to go into my Scrappy Blanket, and actually the more colors that are in it, kind of the more fun. But it definitely leans sort of dark and cool maybe.
Yeah.
And then you gave me some yarn as well from your
leftover bits.
Scrap, your scrap pig.
My scrap
Is it a pig?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, you've got a little container that's shaped, a plastic container that's shaped like a pig. So when I first started it, I was just like using up all the yarn until it was done. So you've got like multiple stripes, but then after a while I was like, actually I want every stripe to be a different color. So I do every stripe a different color. So and then change colors. So on the ends.
How are you dealing with the ends? Are you just like crocheting them in?
Yeah. No, I am doing. Oh, I meant to look it up before just to definitely double check. But I think it's a Russian join.
Oh yeah, when you tie and then just pull it together. Is that the one? Is that the Russian join?
No, you take the two colors that are going to be joined, and then you like hook them together, and then you take the ends, and you like kind of sew it into itself, into the same colored yarn. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. But how are you doing that? You're doing that before you change colors, or are you doing that?
Yeah. So as I'm basically, what I've been doing is I've been crocheting all the way to the end, and then kind of like marking where that end is, and then undoing a few stitches, and then because I've marked where that end is, like where, then I make the join like there where I've marked it, and then as I, go back again, it pretty much joins up so that it's the row end.
Okay.
If it's off by a little bit, it's not too bad. But yeah, so the ends are a little bit bulkier because of that. Because obviously they've been like doubled up on each other. And the reason why I've been managed to do so much again, because I think the last time I really picked it up, I've probably done like more than half of the length. I've doubled it since the last time. Because I have a team meeting. I work from home Mondays and Tuesdays. I have a team meeting on Tuesdays. It's about half an hour long, and I can do just over a row in that half hour, minus the times I'm talking. And yeah, they don't mind that I'm just crocheting in the background. And what else? There's mostly fingering weights. Yeah. So one day, this will be, I don't know, something.
That reminds.
I'm not even sure, like size wise, because like, I guess it'll be more like a throw. Like it wouldn't really be for like
it's like a
the whole.
It's
bed
like it's about the width of a twin size bed. It looks like.
Yeah, it's about the width of a twin size. I guess
without a drape.
Yeah, if I made it really, if I kept going really, really long, it could be like the end thingy on the bed,
Oh yeah, the little by the foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got that, and then I do have one more whip. It's knitting though. Yeah. This is a project which I started because I met my new niece, who's Sam's brother's newest first daughter.
First daughter?
Sam is Sam is basically now Sam is
you
an uncle in his own right, like from his side of the family, not just my side of the family. And I was like, I knew I wanted to make her something, but I think they've got other friends who are crocheters and stuff. So I've already seen somebody made her two Toft amigurumi animals. I think like a sheep and a cow or just a pig or something. was like, okay, maybe I won't do amigurumi. Well, one, because I told myself
You're
I was
never
going to
doing
do that
that
again because it
again.
drives me nuts. Even though I had the yarn to make the otter. So I decided to knit something. And this is what I've got. It's a tiny little cardigan. And, oh my god, this thing's driving me nuts. I was raiding my stash, and I had all the yarn for the puffin amigurumi I made.
Yeah.
And for the otter, which I'd bought the yarn for. So I was like, can I use all of these? And then I was like, do I have enough to crochet a cardigan? And I wasn't sure. I was like, well, I'll knit something because it probably will use a little bit less yarn. So I've taken all the colors that are sort of pinky beige.
And white.
These are all my yarns. And white. So I'm striping 6 colors.
So wait, what's the name of the cardigan?
It's the Funky Kimono. That was called
Funky Baby Kimono.
Funky Baby Kimono. So
by
Melilab,
Melilab,
Melilab. Yeah, it's an old blog. It's free. It's on her blog. I mean, the blog hasn't been updated since like 2014.
Yeah, but it looks like
but it's still online.
There's some strands, fair isle.
Yeah, so there's stranded color work in it. So the actual project, it's striped. And then in some of the stripes, there's a little bit of color work.
But you're skipping.
I'm just doing straight up. I'm just doing stripes
because you'd have to do that. You're not doing that in the round. It's knit.
Yeah, so it's all one piece,
and the sleeves are knit with it, so it's like this, right?
Yeah. But there's like a bajillion ends
because you're striping it.
Because I'm striping it. So yeah, it stripes from like there's these like dusky pinks. One's slightly darker than the other. I don't know why I must have bought them because for the puffin, thinking, oh, I don't know, should I do this pink or this pink? And they're basically the same pink. And then a like wine red and a brown, and 2 more brownie cream off-white colors that are again almost the same color, which I probably bought because I was like, I don't know which one I should use.
But they're like little 25-gram balls. They're not like...
Yeah, they're little 25-gram Rico Rumi DKs, which is why, I wasn't sure how much I'd have or if I'd have enough and stuff. So the darker color I'm using as the ribbing. And not only are there a bajillion ends, so I've woven in the ends sort of for this sleeve. They're still sticking out, but they're mostly woven in. And I mean, I'm following the pattern in that, like...
Isn't it bottom up?
I'm using the measurements.
No. Top.
It's from the... Well, it's from the back bottom up and then around to the front.
So it's... You do... You put the stitches on hold for this? No? Yes?
For one side. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm working this front from the top of, say, the right sleeve.
Okay, so you've already done the
I'll
back.
Need to reattach. Yeah, because it starts the back, bottom, works up the back to the neck, and then you start the sleeves as well. And then you split for the rest of the sleeve, which then grows into that.
So before you come up to do the front, it's a T. I mean, it's a T with,
Yeah, it's like a T shape.
Yeah.
Because of the sleeves. Yeah. And then, because it's a kimono wrap, it like wraps around the front. So this front one has all these increases, and then it's just the same thing on the other side. You just start for the left sleeve, finish the sleeve, and then increase to make the wrap on the other side. And I had to make sure as well to because I'm striping it, my stripes are symmetrical from the top of the sleeve.
I mean, so you didn't have to do that
along the side. Well, I want them to match on the sides, the front and back.
I see.
Because obviously, if I kept going. They wouldn't match up. Yeah, on the front and back. And then I was driving me nuts because then I messaged you about it as well, because this rib here that comes along the slant on the increase, it doesn't really say how to do the increase here, because you increase just in the stitch before the rib. And then you told me to do
don't remember.
But I've been knitting the front
knit the
and
front
then
and the
knit the
back.
back as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, that.
Uh-huh.
I've been doing that, and that seems to be nice and tidy. But my problem was it was like puckering, like
Uh,
the
the rib
rib.
part.
It was almost like there wasn't enough rows in the rib, and so it was starting to curve
Up.
up instead of having a straight hem.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing, I've just finished the increases, and it'll go straight down now. But for this increase bit, I was, working along the first row of the color of the stripe, changing to the rib color back and forth, but then working the rib back and forth again. So I was working the rib an extra 2 rows.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so that's
That
worked,
seems
but
to
I had
work,
to rip
yeah.
it out and stuff. And I wanted to finish it for seeing the baby, but I didn't give myself enough time, and all the ends and figuring out that. And then could you see what I did? Because I'm not using this, I don't know if I'm not using the same, I didn't really swatch. So I've got this weird bit here.
Yes.
Where I was originally going to make the cardigan this wide. And then as I started going up, I was like, that's too wide.
So what are you gonna
I stopped.
do?
So because these are all just ends, I'll just tink it back to where it needs to be.
Okay, that works. Yeah, you can do
But that will work, right?
Yes. That'll be a pain in the butt, but it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, I've already done it to myself. But I think it's going to be cute. And she is obviously sorry, drops me on. Like all babies, growing very quickly. But she's also she is growing really quickly. Like she's got teeth. Like teeth, you could see her teeth coming out, and she was like 9 weeks old when I saw her.
That's crazy. I can't imagine nursing a 9-week-old with teeth. I mean, you guys are all very late with your teeth growing. I mean, you were practically one, like you were 11 months when you had your first teeth. And then Madeline, I mean, with each baby, it was earlier and earlier. So by the time Madeline came along, I think she was like average, like 6 months old or something like that. It was very average. So yeah, you were just, ahead of your peers. No, you were behind your peers. I'm sorry.
No,
you were behind your peers. Yeah. Your peers were all ahead of you.
So those are my whips.
Okay, so you have a combo of knitting and crocheting, and so do I. So my first whip is the Fairfield Cardigan by Michelle Wang, and I have finished the back.
Ooh.
And it looks really big. It's upside down.
Big like long or big?
Both, because you're smaller than me. This is the back, and I was like, I think I can fit this. I don't know.
That's okay. Oversized.
Oversized is better than undersized. So yeah, I don't know. I kept like messing up the like having extra stitches here and there, and I don't know what the heck I did. I never found like where the extra stitches were, or where some of them were. I must have dropped a stitch, but I can't find where I dropped the stitches. So I don't know. But anyway, so it's done. The back is done. Yay! So it's a cable cardigan with like a wide cable in the back, but it's actually consisting of 5 different cables. So that's
skinny cables.
So that's actually one chart, another chart, and a third chart. So it's 3 charts where the first and the third charts are skinny cables, and the chart in the middle actually has 3 cables inside of it. So, and with a little bit lace bits, because there's yarn overs inside of the cables. So I mean, I didn't mess up the stitch count inside the cables. It's just out here where it's all reverse stockinette where I was messing up. So that's done, and I did that. I finished it while I was on a trip to New Jersey, and this is the front right, right here. Yeah. So I haven't started. I think I have to do a little bit more before I start the sleeve shaping. Actually, I have to do a lot before the sleeve shaping because it's all the way down here.
Oh, so the front, so it's like cables right up against the button band?
Yeah. So. So this is actually like here because I haven't started the sleeve shaping, and then there will be a button band along this way in the center. Yeah, so that's what I have so far. It's a better look.
Nice.
Yeah, this yarn, it's got quite a bit of vegetable matter in it. I mean, I'm not saying like a lot, but every once in a while there's like a piece of straw like embedded inside the yarn that I have to just pull out. And so where I sit, and they're just like these tiny little bits. You probably can't see that. Oh, no, that's fluff. No, that's fluff. Anyway, so where I sit, like right next to where I sit, there's always like this pile of like little fluff and straw bits that I pull out of the yarn because I don't want it to knit it in and then it would be uncomfortable for you. But I'm sure there's pieces where I've missed, and I know there are because I'm pulling one out right now. Anyway, so I don't know if I would use this yarn again. That's kind of a pain. But the whole but because
too organic.
Oh, here's another bit. You can probably see that. It's right here. The piece, that light piece.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see?
Almost looks like a fly.
No, but it's lighter than the yarn.
Yeah.
But because it's a Z-twist yarn as opposed to the S-twist, because I'm learning. When I do my German twisted cast on, it doesn't mess the yarn up, because usually when I do a traditional S-twist yarn and I do a German twist, because there's an extra twist when you're casting on, I end up untwisting the yarn, not twisting it. And then I have to like let it go and have it twist back, and then so if it's like a long cast on, like the back, it would have been I would have had to do that several times, but I didn't have to do that at all with this.
Yeah.
So that's my first whip. My second whip is crochet. So I haven't talked about it with you yet, because for whatever reason, every time I talk about it, it's been with Emily. So how do you like our new host, Emily?
I get to have the opportunity, the experience of just listening to the podcast. So listen to or watch the one with you two in it.
So this is the Claigan Cowl by Claudia Dingle. And that is what it looks like right now. I have done 2 full repeats of so this is crocheted. So this is not, I mean, it's not, what kind of crochet is it? Is there like a specific name for not knitting, crocheting into the back loop?
No, not really. No, I mean, you're crocheting into the back loop and then doing front and back post stitches for the pattern. I think I read somewhere that like the Victorian crochet, that they maybe crocheted into the back loop as standard.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
So the yarn I'm using is a silk. It's a silk yarn. What do I have in my notes? Where are you? Oh, here we go. I don't know if it's 100% silk. Can't be, can it? It is. Oh, it's 50% alpaca, 50% silk. So it's quite fuzzy.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that when I block it, I can block it out so you can see the pattern a little bit better. Because right now it's all like smushed together. And Emily and I were looking. I mean, I don't, because it's just a cowl, I didn't really care about gauge. And Emily and I were talking about, oh, it looks so different from the pattern. And I can just like block it. But it's like, maybe I should have done it with a bigger hook. I don't know. It looks okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a different yarn as well, because, well...
No, the other one is also... Well, it's silk and something, right?
It's rose alpaca.
It's rose and alpaca. Rose. Yeah, so rose fiber is kind of silky.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like yours has more halo and fuzz, whereas the alpaca rose from Border Mill is very, like, slippery.
Yeah.
And silky.
I think it might be thicker, too.
Rather than fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I can see, like, striping in the yarn.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, what's it called? I can never remember the word. When it's like kettle dyed.
Tonal?
Tonal. Yeah, it's supposed to be tonal, but this was a commercially dyed yarn. It's not a indie dyer, so
There's like
it's about
yeah.
so it's not quite. It's however they did it to make it look like in the skein like it was hand dyed, but it's not actually hand dyed.
Yeah, so for anybody just listening, like it's resulted in like, so far from what you can see, there's almost like 3 bands, like stripes of like a brighter pink, brighter darker pink.
Yeah, so that's only the first skein. I mean, yeah, I'll probably eat into the second skein. I do have 2 skeins of this, so that's my crochet.
Nice.
And my third whip, which I haven't mentioned yet, and I don't even think I put it in the notes yet. I did not. This one is the Covesea Cowl by Emily K. Williams.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is in the Journal of Scottish Yarns, just in their first issue. And this is all I have. And speaking of alpaca rose, this is the
Alpaca
rose, yeah, yarn. I actually got I don't even know which way is the front, which way is the back. Here we go. Here's the front. I got the yarn that it calls for. In fact, I bought a kit. I mean, when do I ever buy the same yarn? I mean, in the same colors too. So it was like they had a deal at Perth. It was, I think it was like slightly cheaper to get the kit. I'm like, oh sure, I'll get the kit, and then I'll I already have the pattern. So that's all I have.
I think the colors are colors you like as well, because they're all sort of like bluey teal.
Yeah.
Right?
So
or is there yellow in it as well?
No, the yellow is a different one. So they have two different colorways, and one colorway has yellow and pink and green, and the same like neutrally whitish tan color, the off-white color. I think it's natural. And then the second colorway is all greens and teals, green, blue, teals. Okay. And so yeah, I'm almost done with the first color. I have to change to the main color soon. I haven't done it yet. So I
have to say, I really admire like Susan, who publishes the Journal of Scottish Yarns. She does every design in multiple colors. So one, it's really nice to like see it in different colors, and 2, it's the fact that like she doesn't make every pattern herself, but she does make quite a lot. Like a lot of the samples she has either made or her sister has made as well. So she's got lots of samples from her back catalog and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I think she really does like knit everything.
Well, all of the yarn that she uses is Scottish yarns, correct?
I think so.
So like,
or dyed, Scottish dyed.
Yeah, so it's easier for her to source it for her own, like if she's doing the alternate colorway. For you, like,
yeah, that's true. But she still like, if somebody told me, yeah, publish your magazine, but also make all the samples yourself or half the samples yourself, even I mean, I would crochet a lot more. But
yeah, you'd go crazy. You'd go crazy because you want to work on your personal projects.
Yeah,
yeah, I'd go crazy too. Like, you're never crocheting or knitting anything for yourself that you like that. Well, she might just pick the patterns that she wants to wear.
Yeah, and the colorways.
And the colorway that she likes. Yeah. So there's a couple of other things from her magazines. Her magazine that I want to do. I also, there's more than one that I also want to crochet from your magazine, but I feel like my skill level isn't quite there yet. The pattern with from last year, the black and white and yellow, somebody recently crocheted that in a different color. I'm like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, black and white, or like black and white as well, but with a light baby blue top.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, somebody posted that on Instagram.
It's posted on the Murat feed as well.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I saw it. But so yeah, all these other things that, like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that, but I feel like I need to up my game first in crochet. And it'll be a truly, knit and crochet podcast,
Mixed.
like all mixed. And then now we have,
Gotta get Emily to
now we have to get
crochet.
Emily to crochet. And I mean,
Or we get Madeline to co-host as well and get her to crochet more because she crochets already.
yeah, she hasn't touched her crochet in months. So I keep bugging her like,
Drawing the Gen Z audience. Like amigurumi and
I
tapestries.
did say, one of these days you can be a guest host with your crochet. She's like, okay. Gotta finish something. I mean, she's finished several things. It's just what she's currently working on.
Yeah.
She's hardly done. And it's,
Well, I mean, the first time you're a guest, all the things you're currently working on, you could talk about as whips.
yeah. And then all the stuff that you finished are, FOs. She doesn't have everything with her though. Okay. That's it. That's all. That's all I have been working on. I mean, clearly I haven't been working on this for very long. I think I cast it on right before I left for New Jersey, and then I worked on it on the airplane because Quentin was an absolute. I mean, he was so good in the airplane. He just slept the whole entire time, so I was able to work a few rows on that. But then I forgot about it because I was working on your sweater because I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish the back at the very least during my trip. So I'm probably gonna be blocking the back now. Yeah.
Yeah. I was working on the Acre this week, watching TV in the evening, and then I suddenly remembered, oh no, I'm supposed to finish that the baby cardigan. Like that's a priority before she grows out of it. Like
I have some baby things in my queue as well. So things, and then there's other things like my crochet blanket. I haven't touched in like a year, and then other things. The mittens and all the other things that I haven't like touched. So I need to stop traveling is what I need to do because like everything is, it has to fit in my suitcase. It has to be convenient. And I can't bring like the crochet blanket. I mean, I suppose I can just bring 2 balls, but those balls of yarn are really big.
Just do like pieces.
Yeah. Alrighty. Are you ready for our
BuzzFeed?
Yes, BuzzFeed.
Okay. This Bridgerton quiz will determine which Bridgerton sibling you belong with in real life. Now, which Bridgerton sibling? So presumably there's a mix of men and women as the answers. But anyway, have you watched Bridgerton?
Just the first season.
Just the first season. Okay. I've not watched all of them.
So they just finished the 3rd season? They just dropped the 3rd season? Is that what it was?
The third. Yeah,
I didn't.
Which I was not a huge fan of. But
oh, really? I didn't watch. I mean, I enjoyed the first season, but then I read the books. Not all of them, but I read a few, and I was like, I'm not really interested in watching the 2nd season.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, like, not interesting, but like, so my guilty pleasure is this, like, Regency romance novels, like, and I'd never read. Can't even think what the author's name is now.
For Bridgerton,
do you know?
I don't remember.
Is it Julia Quinn?
I don't remember.
Am I just naming romance authors now?
I don't remember. Look it up.
Bridgerton book. Julia Quinn. Okay. Yeah. So I've actually never read any of the Bridgertons. I looked in my Goodreads. I've read like a peripheral, like not from the main. I think it's about like a Bridgerton cousin, maybe.
Oh, okay. Before Bridgerton came out?
Before Bridgerton came out, yeah. I think my favorite author is Tessa Dare. But yeah. So anyway. Who is your soulmate?
Wait, I have to go to the bottom of the quiz now. It is Benedict Bridgerton. Is he the second brother? Is he the oldest brother? I don't even remember. Your soulmate is Benedict. Your ideal partner is someone who is creative like Benedict. You're looking for someone who is incredibly kind to the people around you, whether it's helping a stranger or taking time to spend with your family. You want a partner who puts others first because you find it incredibly sexy. He's the oldest, correct? Right? No, he's not the oldest.
I I think he looks older than.
The
Anyway, I got Anthony Bridgerton, who I think is the oldest.
Oh, okay.
It says your soulmate is Anthony. Your ideal partner is someone who challenges you and keeps you guessing like Anthony. While you two might not see eye to eye at first, you respect each other and soon realize that respect is growing into genuine love and admiration. You want a partner who will always put you first.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I don't think Sam keeps me guessing.
But
I think he
does put you first a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your dad isn't.
But yeah, I think he's the oldest because he's
never around.
Yeah, he's the one that all the responsibility falls to him.
Okay, I don't really remember it. I just she's like. Yeah. Actually, I didn't read them. I listened to them, I think maybe 3 of them, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Or 2, I don't remember. Okay.
Apparently, people are all up in, because you've actually read them, are all up in arms because the season ended. I think Francesca is it's her season next. I don't really know. But they've changed the gender of the main character from that novel, so they're obviously changing something.
Oh, okay.
And people who have read the books and love the books are
all in arms.
You do
up
that?
In arms, yeah.
She's selling out.
Yeah, that's whatever. It's TV. You can't be that religious to the text because then it's it's no fun. Okay, first.
I'm also skeptical, how many of these people who are love the books and have read the books have only read them since watching the movies or the series.
I don't know.
Anyway, yes. Choose an adjective you think best describes you. Funny, ambitious, creative, empathetic, honest, friendly.
You picked empathetic. No?
I picked friendly.
Oh, okay. I picked creative. I only said empathetic just based on who your result is. I thought empathetic would be that description. And creative is the description of...
Yeah. Pick a romance novel trope you love.
Friends to lovers.
Enemies to lovers.
So it's enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, only one bed, love triangle, fake dating, love at first sight.
I don't know what only one bed means.
No, I don't either. I was like... Oh, yeah. There's some movies from the 50s where, unmarried.
Oh.
And they I don't know, stumble into a hotel and they have to one bed. So they each have to keep a foot on the floor.
Forced. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely enemies to lovers, I think, describes Anthony's season. But I was just thinking about even... Well, I don't know. I was thinking about Outlander, how they weren't enemies, but
but they weren't friends.
I don't know. They were sort of forced together by circumstance.
So that would be only one bed.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. Which Bridgerton character would you want to gossip with? I guess you don't know who Kate Sharma is because you didn't.
No, I didn't watch the second season. I just picked Lady Danbury because I think she's probably one of my favorite characters. Same. And I feel like Lady Violet Bridgerton, Kate Sharma, Penelope Featherington, Lady Danbury, Philippa Featherington, and Queen Charlotte. I don't really remember Philippa's character at all, but I just remember Lady Danbury. She's a badass.
She would definitely have the best gossip as well. She'd be the best. I mean, she just would be the best person to gossip with. Well, maybe Penelope as well, but ideal first date?
Coffee and a walk in the park.
I did the same.
Dinner and a movie,
but
lunch and a walk on a beach, brunch and mini golf, drinks and wandering a museum, cooking together and staying in. Those are the choices. So you don't want to cook together and stay in on your first date. That's just dangerous.
It's a bit much. It depends. It depends on if it's somebody that you
already know
for a really long time.
That's true.
Yeah, and then
that's true.
So that could be the friends one. If you were making so I think we picked the same song for this one because we were talking about it and we were like, we only know one of these songs. Which song would you pick if you were making a playlist inspired by romance? And did you do the Nat King Cole?
Yes, Love by Nat King Cole. I don't know the other ones.
The other ones,
I don't even.
Yeah, were Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine. I think maybe Madeline listens to her.
I don't know.
But Daddy, I Love Him by Taylor Swift, which, I mean, maybe I'd recognize it if I heard it. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. All My Love by Noah Khan? Don't even know who that is. Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, which I do know, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you that was is it a love song?
I don't know. So you know what this means? You're getting old.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, the Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know who the Goo Goo Dolls are.
I know who they are, but I don't know that song. It depends. Okay, wait. I'm going to look up Noah Khan. No. I mean, I am getting old. I know I am. American singer-songwriter.
Pretty soon you're going to be in your mid-30s.
Yeah, still don't know. Folk pop. Okay.
I've never heard of Snow Patrol.
I bet you would recognize the song.
I don't listen to radio anymore. I used to even like
it would have been like when I was in high school.
Oh, really? Okay.
Time. Yeah, it's old.
Because like whenever I'm like tootling around town, I stick in my phone and I'm listening to podcasts, or even if it's like a 10-minute drive, podcast or whatever book I'm listening to. And yeah, because Madeline's, I don't really drive around with Madeline that much anymore because she's always working. All right, whose iconic love story do you adore?
Elizabeth and Darcy.
Yeah,
Pride and Prejudice.
That's what I picked. Yeah. Favorite.
If I hadn't have picked that, I might have gone for To All the Boys.
I've never actually watched that. But everybody says it's really good. Ross and Rachel from Friends, Nick and Jess from New Girl, Lara Jean and Peter from To All the Boys, Nathan and Haley from One Tree Hill, and Katniss and PETA from The Hunger Games, which I think is stupid. But anyway, Ross and Rachel.
Wait. Are you saying you think The Hunger Games is stupid, or having them on this list is stupid?
Having them on the list is stupid. I don't know. Yeah. Ross and Rachel, I mean, come on. I mean, I think that was a horrible love story because,
I've never watched a single full episode of Friends.
You might have when you were young. You just don't remember because that's really old now.
Yeah.
All right.
But I wouldn't have watched it because I was watching it.
That's true. I mean, you watched a lot of Star Trek with us when you were growing up. Okay, and finally, I guess we're doing all the questions. Choose a romance book to read or a movie to watch this weekend. So I went for Crazy Stupid Love, which is a movie. I don't know. I mean, I've only watched two of them, which is The Sound of Music and When Harry Met Sally. And I don't know, The Sound of Music I love, but it's really long. So I picked When Harry Met Sally. Because I haven't watched that in a long time. So I had to look it up because I was like, I wasn't sure if beach read meant like reading a beach read, but I think I looked it up and there's a book called Beach Read. So I don't know if that's what. I don't know. A Court of Thorns and Roses. That must be a book. I think it's a book. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but. The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then we've mentioned all the other ones. Crazy Stupid Love. Oh, you that was your choice. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So I'm Benedict, and you're Tony, whatever. Anthony. No, our soulmates. Those are our soulmates. Ben and Tony. Okie dokie. Let's move on to our FOs, which actually I don't have any FOs. You have. Yeah, I don't have any either. Okay, we're done. Bye, everybody. Because you shared your frog hat in the last one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking, you finished that. No, yeah, I shared it in the last one. And can I just say, yes, I was the one that said it looked like you should. Yeah, I know you said that, and I think I also said, yeah, it would look funny if I put eyes on it. But that is
No, cute's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, cute, funny. Well, it was 90 degrees here, so there's a picture of him with it on his head, and he's like pulling it off.
What is this?
Poor baby. And he was also getting sick at the time, which we weren't quite sure. We didn't know yet. But then, like, that evening was when, like, okay, I think he has a fever. Yeah. The your baby sister got your baby nephew sick. So that was not fun. Not fun at all. We were all exhausted.
Yeah.
We were all exhausted. Madeline, because she was sick. And then we were all, like, taking turns dealing with the sick baby.
Aww.
Yeah, but at least it got better before we flew out to New Jersey, which was fun. Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I don't have any FOs.
Okay. So I told I told Emily that you guys should like do a quick recording while you guys are together. And she's like,
yeah, I thought about that.
Alyson's going to be there for such a short time. Just make a quick one. Yeah, you can even have the baby in it.
You still edit it for us?
Yeah, I'll still edit it for us. I can never say that.
Oh man, what will I bring then? Probably won't have finished the baby thing. I'll probably still have this to do this, but that's gonna be such a pain to like travel with because it's like 6 balls of yarn.
Or you can start something new. Yeah, you need to finish it. So you might.
Yeah. Well, there is something new I need to start, but I can't talk about it.
Oh,
it's a secret.
Well, you might bring it just to finish to sew it up and weave in the ends. It might just be that, and then you won't have to bring the balls.
Yeah, but that means I need to get it to that point before I leave in a week.
Oh, it's in a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So when this episode goes out, it'll be after Independence Day. So I hope everybody had a safe Independence Day in the U.S. And I think...
And happy Election Day for... I hope you voted if you're in the UK. I can't vote in this election because I'm not a citizen.
Okay. All right. So lots of things. When is that?
July 4th.
Oh,
tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Which is probably like last week for our listeners. Because that's how long it takes for us to get it together.
All the parts, yeah. Any shop talk or any bits and bobs?
Absolutely none, because I've only been home for 2 days. I came, so I flew over to New Jersey with Emily and the baby, and then she left after 4 days. But then I stayed for an extra week, about a week, and yeah. So while she was there, we had a family reunion. It's my uncle's 80th birthday this year, and so that was fun. And I know I don't think I mentioned that my dad died over Thanksgiving weekend last year. So so this uncle is my dad's younger brother. My dad was the oldest in the family, and it was really emotional for all of us to be there together because we've had 2 deaths in the family. A cousin also died earlier last year, and we were supposed to have this reunion, but then we postponed it because our cousin was really sick and couldn't fly. She ended up dying. So yeah, hold your family close. That's my advice for everybody. It was I was very happy to see all most of my cousins. There was a couple that couldn't make it. They either don't live in the country or were out of town or out of the country for travel. And my uncle, when I was growing up, I never thought that he looked anything like my dad. He's smaller than my dad. He's shorter than him because he was a sickly child, and he has a lisp. So I never thought they talked alike because he was always like spraying when he was younger, like say it, don't spray it. But as they were getting older, they're looking so much alike, and I've actually seen pictures of him, before my dad died. And I was like, oh, wait, is that dad? No, that's not my dad. Because when you're just seeing the face, you can't tell, how tall he is. They look so similar. And then, and I haven't seen him in a couple years. Just his mannerisms and the way he talks is like identical to my dad, even though they had lived together for their whole adult lives. And it was very sad for me to watch. I just got very, very emotional watching him talk about their childhood and stuff. So, but it was just a lovely time that we had with him and our other uncle and all the cousins. So, and then extended, the second cousins, like my cousin's kids, like in Chinese, we still call them, like you guys would still call them, cousins, like you would call them biao di or something, biao shong mei. So, so it was really, really nice. And of course, my youngest cousin just had a baby 2 years ago. So it was like, he's an uncle already. He's 2 years old and he's an uncle. They were like, what? Yeah. Trying to wrap their head around, like, how does that work?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, really nice. And it was hard to say goodbye to everybody. But I'm getting emotional thinking about it. But yeah.
Well, I've just been up to friend things. I went to the Peak District for the first time. We rented a little cottage. Well, it was a chapel that had been turned into a cottage, which is really cool. And we were in walking distance of Bakewell. So haven't we talked about this?
Yeah, we've talked about it. And I said, I read a book called The Bakewell Tart something or other.
The murder mysteries. So Bakewell is known for the Bakewell tarts, which is a type of baked good that's got the crust, like I think it's a short crust, and then a layer of jam, and then frangipan, which is made from like almond flour, and then it can be also iced with like a white icing and then a little cherry on top. So we did like a little taste walk to Bakewell, like bought a bunch of tarts from like different bakeries and like tried them all. And I actually liked not the Bakewell tart, but the Bakewell pudding the best, because that had, instead of the short crust pastry, it had like a flaky pastry, and then it was more moist on the inside, but it didn't have the jam. And it wasn't as sweet, I think, which I kind of liked. But it was interesting because like the Bakewell tarts ranged from like, there was one that we had which was like really cakey, and I didn't know if we like misread something, but I'm sure it still said Bakewell tart on it, but like tall and cakey to like flatter, I think.
Okay. So like. I wonder if the town name came first, or
I'm gonna say the town name. Oh yeah, then Bakewell.
So is it like it was a town that had a lot of bakeries and then they became Bakewell, or if it was, who knows? I don't know.
Well, interestingly, the Wikipedia thing says it's known for Bakewell pudding, not Bakewell tarts. So I did like the pudding. Bakewell. It looks like Bakewell came first. It says. The name Bakewell means a spring or stream of a woman named Biadeka. So deriving from a personal name with the Old English suffix wella. In the 1086 Doomsday Book, Badaquella.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
That became, okay, the name came first.
Yeah. The name came first, and kind of transformed into Bakewell. But yeah, so we were like a 45-minute to Bakewell, which was really nice. And we just, did lots of walks. We went to Chatsworth House, which is the big house that they filmed as Pemberley in the Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice, which we mentioned in the Buzzfeed section. It was really nice.
Oh, cool. You get to visit all these fabulous places, and I get to go to fly into Newark, New Jersey.
You come to places too.
Yeah. Only when I visit you.
Well.
And that's not going to happen until next year. Alrighty. Time to say goodbye.
I can see in our show notes that you've written out the spiel. Sort of, but it's not quite how I would say it.
No, but I did have to add a few like words because when you like rattle it off, you don't even like there are no verbs. It's just like blah, 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 and like okay, I'd add.
Right. Well, the show notes for this episode, every episode, is on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_vid. You can rate and comment and follow and subscribe, favorite, review, comment, heart, add to playlist, whatever, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. You can join the Ravelry group if you would like. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the groups tab. Thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.